atheist with a chip on her shoulder.
I knew exactly what to say to get them to lose the argument. That became sport for me.
And a hole in her heart on today's 700 Club.
He says, "You're just looking for your long-lost love, that's all."
As a teenager, she was insecure and often bullied in school.
To numb the pain, I discovered early on alcohol. Alcohol gave me a sense of belonging, and it dropped all inhibitions and gave me a sense of purpose, I guess, in a crowd. I could be the person I always wanted to be, and I couldn't be when I'm sober.
Even with her newfound popularity, she didn't feel loved.
I became promiscuous. You add alcohol and drugs, then I became fun, but I also became an easy target for men and a seducer of men.
As much as she yearned for love, she was convinced she would never find it from God. Her father was an atheist who taught her faith in God was foolish. Her mother, a Mormon, had been shunned by members of her church years before.
I equated God with that treatment. And I was thinking, if God would reject someone like that, if God lived and he existed, I would reject him.
In college, Erin majored in philosophy, which fueled her hatred of God. She used her newfound knowledge to confront people of faith.
I would look for Christians. I would look for Mormons. I would look for anyone who had a faith, and I would sit down with them and begin the conversation. And as I began to share my militant views of God, then they would debate back with me. I knew exactly what to say to get them to lose the argument and get up and walk away. And so that became sport for me.
Erin ran out of the stadium, but as she left, she heard Reverend Graham pray. It was the Lord's Prayer.
And now even an atheist has heard those words before. That was the only thing that was familiar to me. And I remember stopping and listening to those words. And as he says, on earth as it is in heaven, my knees started to buckle and I knew I was going down. I had no strength at all in my body. And I grabbed a hold of that chain link fence just to soften the fall. And everything from within me began to overflow. All the shame, all the pain. I gave him all of my sin. I gave him all my decisions. I gave him who I was. And I stood to my feet that day.